is going on, everybody? Taylor and Jacob here.
Hi.
We are going to talk a little bit about Week 6.
A little bit.
We're going to jump into our Week 7 predictions. There are a couple games I want to talk about. First, we need to talk about Trevor Lawrence going to London and being the first rookie to ever win an NFL game in London.
Yes.
And sending the Dolphins home. Very sad.
And as I predicted, there's a very real chance Tua may have played his second last game for the Dolphins because after I said either Urban Meyer or Tua were losing their job after the whoever, depending on who lost. What's happened this week?
I still don't know if Urban Meyer is safe.
I still don't know if Urban Meyer is safe, but I think he's safe. I think he's safe for the year.
Maybe.
Like
one win doesn't save your job.
No,
it doesn't. If they go winless the rest of the season, or it doesn't look like they're on an upward trajectory, I don't know if he stays.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, I don't want to talk about Urban Meyer right now. I want to talk about how I correctly predicted the Jags were going to get the win.
Yep.
And
Congratulations.
I'm happy for them, to be honest, because no matter what nonsense is going on with Urban Meyer, I do think that Trevor Lawrence has been taking a lot of shit because, he's on this team where he's basically got no support, no weapons.
Yep.
His coach has no idea how the NFL works.
Yeah.
And it was actually, a lot of people were crapping on this game, but I actually enjoyed it. I feel horrible for Tua.
Yeah.
Because it's really not his fault they lost that game.
No, he did not play terribly. I thought he was I didn't think he was sensational or anything, but I thought he played pretty well. It was the defense. That defense was
not good.
Really bad.
It's not good. All right, let's quickly just mention, I don't really have much to say, but I want to quickly mention the Bengals absolutely took it to the Lions.
Yeah.
Just absolutely beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, the Bengals may have just retired Goff before his 30s. So
we'll see what happens there. We had Aaron Rodgers claiming his stake of minority ownership over the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
So that was a thing. Aaron Rodgers is clearly still very passionate about his position.
Yeah, he is. It's good to see. Like, it is good that he is clearly very, very passionate.
I want to throw out a big condolences to Chicago fans, a.k.a. my mother, a.k.a. Peggy. A lot of people who have had to deal with Aaron Rodgers being in their division for a very long time. So apologies there.
It could be all over by the end of this year, though.
I still don't think it will be. Everyone's saying he's moving teams. I don't think it's going to happen, especially if they make a playoff run this season. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just me. Look, a lot of people were saying this was finally the week the Cardinals were going to take their deserved L. Finally, there's going to be an L in that column.
Yep.
Did not happen.
What did
I tell everybody?
Yeah, it didn't. Well done, Cardinals. I'm very, very glad that they won that game.
That was not a pretty game.
Oh no! And look, a Hail Mary in the
last seconds of the first half.
Yeah, in the first half is the only reason they were able to score an extra 7 points, because they were not good. No, they were very not good. And Baker is getting way too much of the blame for this. That defense was horrible.
Oh, it was not good. Kyler was
horrible.
Whatever the heck he wanted.
That is 2 weeks in a row.
Sending receivers all over the place with no coach, head coach, or play caller on the sideline.
Yep.
It was disastrous.
Now we'll get to the other Browns game, but that was 2 weeks in a row against. But again, that was against a bad team. This is 2 weeks in a row against good teams,
with the Chargers
and then Cardinals. Yeah. Great offensive teams.
Yeah,
that defense has not played well.
And the other problem is this game in particular. Clearly, it was also our defense they had issues with.
Yeah,
because I'm going to say realistically, they only scored 7 points.
Yeah, like I said, a Hail Mary.
When you look at,
a Hail Mary is a Hail Mary.
When you look at the majority of the game, the defense gave them
7 points.
So, Baker went down quite a few times. It was not a pretty game for them. We'll get into the other game in a minute.
Yep.
Only other game I really want to talk about is Bills Titans. You
called
can
it.
Have your moment.
I just want to call it. Look, I don't care that it was that Bill should have won that game, because if he doesn't trip. And if he doesn't trip, then they definitely win that game. But I just want to say, I called it lock of the week. Titans would win this game, and they did. It
was an interesting game.
Yeah, I think, and we will talk more about trap games in a minute. But I think this was a classic trap game for the Bills, and it came off. And I think Bills are now look. I still have Bills probably going to the Super Bowl this year.
I do too.
But
I really think they'll do it.
Like I do, and I think people are overrating the Ravens. And I think that the Chiefs are going to get exposed this week.
I think one of the biggest overreactions in power rankings this week has been the Ravens shooting up the ranks. I don't think they deserve to be in the number 2, 3 spots.
Yeah, like I said,
at this point, they're a very good team, but I don't.
There's a lot of holes in that team that Lamar is
papering over.
Yes,
in a lot of
and
ways.
Because Lamar is playing incredible now.
All right, we'll get to that. Too much into that.
All right, let's move on to this week.
Move on to the other Browns game.
The other Browns game.
So I want to say I had no quarterback this week because the Chargers are on a bye. And I was like, maybe I should pick up Case Keenum and just in case, Baker's shoulder thing just isn't a thing. Guess who picked up Case Keenum and got some points on the board? I just want to say I'm very proud of myself for that. He played a pretty dang good game.
He played pretty well.
I know the Denver defense is probably actually worse than the Kansas City Chiefs, which is
it was bad.
But I think Case did a good job holding it down. Getting down and dirty with it when he needed to, just making things happen.
But that's the Browns are a run team. That's run offense. It is built around running the ball, and so a quarterback like Case Keenum works on that team. Yeah. I don't think. Look, Case Keenum's not going to go out and win you a Super Bowl, but this whole notion of Case is going to take Baker's job. Baker is a slightly better Case Keenum. He's someone who can get you, who can very effectively run the ball and also has a really nice throw.
Well, it was interesting last week actually to see when you have a team that's built around the run game in the Browns and a team that's literally everyone in the league refers to the Cardinals as the air raid offense team, where it's the complete opposite. It was really interesting to see that last week, but this game was not good. The Broncos are looking real bad.
Yeah, the Broncos that 3-0 streak at the start of the season is a very, very far away.
Yeah, it's looking that way. All right, let's jump in.
All right, so this week we have 6 teams on a bye. We have the Bills, the Cowboys, the Jags, the Chargers, the Vikings, and the Steelers are all on byes this week. So only have the 12 games between now and the end of the week because we've already had one of them. So first up, we have Panthers at Giants. This is a closer game than I think a lot of people are expecting. Panthers have not looked good. Panthers just have not looked good in the last few weeks.
I don't know. I disagree with that. And you're a lot harder on the Panthers than I think you should be.
That's fair.
I don't think that's fair.
I think they are really missing McCaffrey really missing him.
I agree with that, but if the Giants don't have Saquon,
I'm picking the Panthers, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people care to admit.
Probably. I mean, I don't see it being a blowout. I mean, on my pick'em, I have the Panthers winning by 7. Which I think is a kind of a fair assessment based on what I've seen from both of these teams so far. The Panthers have won games. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, to be honest. I think this is a huge game for both Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, respectively. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm ultimately going to pick the Panthers.
All right. Next up, we have Jets at Patriots. This is arguably one of the most important, and without hyperbole, and I am not trying to overreact to this. This is one of the most important games of the Patriots season easily.
I agree. They cannot afford to lose this game.
They can't. They cannot lose to the Jets at home. No. If they lose to the Jets at Foxborough, this potentially could be Josh McDaniels' last game.
If we leave this and both teams are at a 2-4 record, that's going to be catastrophic.
Yeah, I think if the Patriots do lose this, Josh McDaniels probably loses his job. and serious question marks will be held on Bill Belichick, which is, I know, sacrilege to say, but I think
here's the problem with that, and I don't think that it's unfair based on how the NFL currently is, but I do think it's unfair because of the standards that rookies are held to these days. I don't think this game, where you've got Mac Jones and Zach Wilson going up against each other, should be a game where anyone's neck is on the line.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No, and that's fair.
I don't think that rookies should come into the league and be expected to be, honestly, at records anywhere beyond what these records are, especially with the Jets team that's around Zach Wilson. And I know it's Bill Belichick, but you still need to have the team around Mac Jones to make it happen.
I'm more the way the Patriots have been playing the last few weeks, and I know that they took the Cowboys to the limit, but I think that's more of an indictment on the Cowboys more than how good the Patriots are.
That's fair.
And I think the Bucs game had all the emotion around it.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
And I think that the Patriots haven't looked good. And
No.
I still look,
No.
and there's a part of me that still thinks that they've got a really easy schedule, so I think they can still make the playoffs. But this is a big game for that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big game. I'm ultimately going to say the Patriots do win, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way. But I'm picking the Patriots just because.
I'm picking Patriots, but damn, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a field goal, and it's going to be ugly.
I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Chiefs at Titans.
All right. So I have the Titans in this game.
I do as well.
But I think it's going to be a lot like the Bills-Titans game last week, where it's pretty I don't want to say ugly, but it's ugly.
I think this is going to be a game of who holds the ball last, because Titans defense is terrible.
Oh, they're not.
It's bad,
but the Chiefs defense is worse.
Oh, it is. and here's the reason why I think Titans will win. Titans will be able to control the clock because of Derrick Henry, whereas Chiefs will have to throw the ball.
I agree. I also think it's important that, as we've seen this season, the Titans get some scores on the board, some points on the board early, because if they do, then the Chiefs feel really pressured to play catch up.
Yeah.
And we've seen that doesn't really work well for them.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Titans, I'm trying to get a score on the board as early as possible, because then realistically you can control the game. Yeah,
I think this could very easily be a 40 point, like both teams scoring 40 points.
I think this into a Chargers-Browns.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that, except the difference is both defenses are terrible instead of just extremely good offense. And don't get me wrong, both offenses of these sides are extremely good.
I agree, but definitely the Chargers and the Browns have better defenses, even though Chargers defense isn't great. This is going to be worse.
Yeah.
This is going to be far worse. So, but if the Chiefs win, I'm not going to be upset about it.
No.
But I'm just predicting the Titans.
I'm going Titans, and I know that's technically an upset, but to me, that's not massively an upset. They're pretty evenly matched right now, and I think that I was going to say especially because they're in Tennessee, but Arrowhead hasn't been a great home field advantage for the Chiefs this season, so I don't know. All right, next up we have Washington at Packers.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this one.
Nope.
It's going to be the Packers.
Oh, yep. This is going to be embarrassing. This is going to be an absolute demolition. The only saving grace possibly, and I'll get more into detail later, is Packers are on a short week next week, so they could be looking ahead.
I agree,
that's the only thing.
I agree, but Washington's not good enough to take advantage of
it.
If it was another team, like maybe a mid-tier team, I would say maybe.
Yep.
Washington is a mess.
Yep.
They're just a mess.
All right, next up we have Falcons at the Dolphins.
This one is very interesting because we won't get too far into this because it's a huge conversation we don't have time for. But the Dolphins are a mess right now.
Yep.
Their whole front office building roster.
And they don't have a first round pick next year.
No, their whole organization is a mess, and they haven't been playing spectacular. And the Falcons, even though they are the Falcons, they have Matt Ryan. So I think the Falcons could take this one.
Oh, you're going Falcons?
I'm going to go Falcons on this one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
You're
am.
swapping your pick. All right.
Swapping my
Well,
pick.
okay. From what we were talking about earlier in the week,
Yeah,
I was really
the whole
hoping.
week.
I know. I was really hoping this would be the one that we would have separate because I'm also going the Falcons because I just think the Dolphins are a complete mess at the moment.
Okay. To be fair, when we talked about this last week, their whole organization hadn't fallen to pieces, and
Yeah.
also they hadn't been beaten by the Jags.
No, but okay, the one reason why this could end up being, I think I'm going to pick the Falcons, but I think the Dolphins could get this, and the reason why is the amount, they can do what the Raiders did last week, which was all the pressure in the world's on them, and so it's possible, but yeah,
literally zero. I do not feel like that locker room
yeah
is what the Raiders locker room is. I don't feel like any of those players have their backs. I don't feel like anyone has Tua's back.
Yeah.
I feel like the coaches, I do not see them rising to any sort of occasion, especially because they're not like it's 100% different than the Raiders situation. They have nothing to all band together for.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and that's an absolute L. If it's not, I'll be happy for Tua. I want Tua to win and be successful. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
All right, next up we have Bengals at Ravens.
Upset
All right.
alert. Upset alert. I'm picking the Bengals.
All right.
And the reason is this. I think the Ravens are a good team. You don't get to a 5-1 record by not being a good team. You don't. No. I'm not going to give them the same treatment that everyone was giving the Cardinals until last week, where they're like, oh, some of them were luck.
Yeah.
They were, okay? But ours was too, because the Vikings missed a give me field goal, and we had a win. I think that I'm not going to say luck. I'm going to say they put themselves into some situations where they were setting themselves up to lose, like when they played the Lions, and it took a miracle to win.
Yeah, it
was not luck. It was they didn't play great, but then they found a way to win.
Yeah,
and I think that they're starting to click in some places that they weren't at the beginning of the season. However, I'm a bit worried that their huge win last week is going to pump them up a little too much.
Yeah,
and I could be wrong. They have a great coach. So he could have them completely prepared and ready to go for this. I just have a feeling that the Bengals could go in there with something to prove and take a win. So I'm going to say the Bengals.
I think this is a massive trap game for the Ravens. I am picking the Ravens, but that's more so just based off the massive win last week. I've got nothing. I'm actually really looking forward to watching this game. I think it's going to be a really good, solid game of football, and I'm very excited.
We've got the revenge game.
Yep, the revenge game.
Goff goes back to SoFi.
Lions at Rams.
No, I really feel like this is going to be ugly.
I
really don't think it's actually going to be.
This is going to be a massacre. This is going to be. I'm not watching this game. I will be turning it off. Although, actually, there's nothing. Man, I'm probably going to end up watching fucking Brady. Honestly,
you can watch Brady on your own. I'm not watching Brady. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I mean, I want the Lions to turn it into a game. I don't know. After the performance they put up against the Bengals, I don't see it.
I mean, here is my only reason for maybe why Goff's looking to this game. He was looking at this game.
I'm not giving you that. I'm absolutely not giving you that.
I'm grasping at straws. I'm grasping at straws because these last 4 games are going to all be blowouts.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I don't agree with you.
Fair enough. Oh, actually, one of them I don't think is going to be a blowout, but
I'm picking the Rams next.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams as well.
And I'm not listening to you sit here and make excuses for Jared Goff.
I'm not trying to make Next up, we have Eagles at Raiders. I think this is going to be an ugly game as well. And I think Raiders get the win. I think if they were playing a harder team, I think they would get exposed. But the Eagles are an absolute dumpster fire this year. And
I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Really?
Because Raiders going to Raider.
Fair. That's fair. Coming off a big win.
I think the Raiders are the more talented team, but Raiders going to Raider. I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Okay, I'm going Raiders. All right. Next up, this is my trap game of the week. This is my because
you're a hater.
It's my trap. Not only
picking against them to
Not
win.
only is this
We
my
keep-
trap game of the
We
week,
keep picking against
And
them.
what are they doing? They're winning. So what would
No.
you rather?
No, because at the beginning of the season you picked them to
yeah,
win.
fair enough.
So you don't get to take credit.
That's
for
fair.
that.
Okay.
Own your jackassery.
Okay, I'm
No,
owning my.
it's-
All right, this is the very definition of a trap game. Cardinals are coming off 2 of their biggest wins of the season so far. Their biggest game of the year, the one that they absolutely at the start of the year would have had circled of we must win this game. Cardinals versus Packers, and it's on a short week next week. I think this is the makings of a trap game. They are 17-point favorites. I am picking the Texans to win this game in a massive upset.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. One, they wouldn't have circled the Green Bay game because it doesn't mean anything to them. They would have circled Rams at SoFi. They would have circled all their divisional games because if you don't win your divisional games in the NFC West, you're cooked.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
absolute-
Outside
you're
of divisional,
toast.
then. Outside of
You're
divisional, then.
absolute toast. So Green Bay is not the one they would have circled and said we have to win this.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you're still treating this like the Cardinals of old. Like you're pulling the media bullshit right now. You're being like a media analyst that gets paid to not know how to do their job. Where they're looking at the Cardinals and saying they're still the Cardinals of old, so they're going to lose this game that they should win. That's exactly what you're doing right now.
I'm saying that, like the Bills last week, they are coming off a massive win, a massive 2 weeks, and they are looking forward to next week. I think the Bucs did it. I think every good team does it. Every good team has done it.
The Texans too much credit.
That's fair. I can appreciate that because it's probably true. And I really wish it was another team that I would feel a lot more confident in this pick. There is a part of me that look, the Texans nearly beat the Patriots. The Texans have played decently against some other teams. I don't know. This just has all the makings of a trap game for me, and I have a feeling that the Cardinals are going to lose. This is going to be the one that they lose, and then they're going to go on another run and win like the next 6 games, and everyone's going to be like, how did they lose to the Texans?
I still think you're treating this like the Cardinals.
Okay.
And you're not giving them their credit.
Fair.
So be prepared to take your giant L.
I will
We
take my
only
giant
review
L.
This and I get to rub it in your face.
I will take my L. I will absolutely take my L, and I promise you that if I'm correct, I will not rub it in your face. All right. Next up, we have Bears at Buccaneers. This is the one. I think this could be a massacre, an absolute massacre. And the only reason I am saying that is this is the Brady was embarrassed game from last year.
What do you mean?
When he forgot that it was 4th down.
Yeah.
And I think he got embarrassed. He was embarrassed on primetime television, and he ain't gonna let that happen again. And I think this is his revenge game, and he's gonna come out, and this could be ugly. This could be an ugly game.
Okay, I don't give a shit about Brady.
That's
Next.
fair. Okay. So who are you picking?
I'm picking Brady, but I'm not watching this game.
Okay. Next up, we have.
Anytime Brady comes up on this channel, I'm going to talk about him as least amount as possible because I can't stand him and he gets enough media coverage.
Fair
So
enough.
If you want to talk about him, you can. I'm not doing it.
All right. Next up, we have Colts at 49ers. Who have you got?
I mean, I really don't know. Both of these teams are kind of a mess, to be honest. Colts have lost a couple of games they should have won. 49ers haven't really shown me much. Like, I know they took Green Bay to the brink and they took the Cardinals to the brink, but I don't know how I feel about this team. Like, I don't know who's going to be starting. Like, I don't know what quarterback they're going to have or what is going on there. I'm going to give the 49ers a slight edge because it's at 49ers, but I really think this game could come down to like a walk-off field goal at the end, but I'm going to not very confidently pick the 49ers.
I'm going to pick Colts without any confidence whatsoever. They looked impressive last week, and I think that I don't know. I'm picking Colts because I don't want 49ers to win because I want us to win the division. So I'm picking 49ers.
Fair.
All right, and lastly, we have Saints at Seahawks. Seahawks were bad.
Yeah, they're not.
They're bad.
I mean, if we're going to say they're bad, though, we have to say the Steelers are bad.
Oh, the Steelers are
I'm just
shockingly
making sure
awful
we're
as
just
well.
making sure we establish this.
Yeah, no, the
Because-
Steelers were bad last week. They were really like that was a shocking Sunday night game. Absolutely shocking Sunday night
Yeah,
game.
it was not great. But
But
look, the Saints aren't good either.
no, and I look if I'm gonna pick, okay, I'm picking Winston over Geno Smith though,
Yeah,
and
no,
that's what
I am
that's
too.
what's getting me over the
I'm
line.
also picking the Saints, but I'm not confident about it, especially
No.
since it's at Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, 12's gonna come into it, so I'm I'm picking Saints with absolutely no confidence. What a terrible 2 primetime games.
I know.
Like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That's just
It's not looking great.
not good.
But yeah, so those are our picks for week
Yep.
7. What do you guys think? We'd love to hear your picks. What you think is going to happen? What games you're most excited about? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We really enjoy yelling at each other about this every week.
Yep.
And keeping track of who's winning. So far, it's me.
Just kicking my ass.
But thank you guys for tuning in every week. We have a lot of fun. You guys are the best for
Yeah.
putting up with us, really.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.